Testing. Satan. All right.
Testing.
All right, we good. Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start by giving all praises, honors, and glories to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rechakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching 100% truth. Wa Barakatham to the 144,000, as well as the rest of the elect. May peace and blessings be unto your households. It's your brother Gadon alongside the brother Warga. And in today's Sunday sit down, we're going to continue on in Joshua the 12th chapter, right? This is going to be, a relatively shorter chapter that we'll go into, because in this chapter, it pretty much really talks about what basically give you a recap on what the lands that, the nation of Israel conquered, right? What Moses conquered, as well as what Joshua conquered. But it goes into it's kind of like a summarization of it. And I'm gonna show the map at the end pretty much to show you like what parts are conquered. It's really just explains the whole chapter pretty much, but it shouldn't really take too long, but we're gonna go ahead and jump into it. I don't know if we're gonna get to it. If not, I'll just go ahead and start reading it.
No, I got a precept real quick.
Right now?
Yeah, because really the point be to pull that in the beginning of this precept. But it's Isaiah 46:9 in the NLT though.
Okay. All right. You got it, bro.
All right, it's Isaiah chapter 46, verse 9. It says, "Remember the things I have done in the past, for I alone am the power of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. I am Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, and there's none like me." And that's pretty much we're going to see that sentiment echoed throughout this chapter. Pretty much they're showing the reputation of the Lord, because as it goes into the particular kings and the particular acts and the particular things the Lord did for the nation of Israel, we know that it's all backed by the Lord. It's going to speak about the kings that Joshua took out, the kings of the north, the kings of the southern kings, the kings of the north. That was all done by the power of Yahweh Bashem Shai. So it's pretty much a reminder of where our power comes from. You even read about that in Job. Job, it says, "Wisdom and strength is with the Lord, and the deceiver and the deceived are his." But the point in that verse is wisdom and strength is with the Lord. That's where our strength comes from, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. And it's just it's just a reminder. And it also just shows forth, our relationship with the Lord through the experiences. But
I'm gonna read verse 10.
All right, that was it. Not you said what?
I'm gonna read verse 10. It says, "Only I can tell you the future before it even happens. Everything I plan will come to pass, for I do whatever I wish." Let you know that it's really, the will of Yahweh Bashem Shai on really what happens. But as long as the nation of Israel is at one with Yahweh Bashem Shai, then you can clearly see, even within its past chapters, due to Joshua's obedience, even Moses' obedience, man, they was able to just run through niggas pretty much, right? Run through niggas and be pretty much, on the what was it? I guess the downside. Basically, the odds are against them in most cases. Where you hell with Joshua, you got all these kings coming together to fight the nation of Israel, man. That's a lot. That's a lot of people, right? It ain't no just like, oh no, I just one of them. No, it'll be like multiple. And the only time that they ever lose is when they sin against the Lord. Pretty much simple as that. But I got something if you didn't already.
You got it. Read that, Joshua.
All right. This is Romans chapter 8 and verse 31. It says, "What shall we then say to these things? If the most high, if Yahweh Bashem shall be for us, who can be against us?" And you can really see that reading along in Joshua, man, right? How it really ended up like in first chapter. It lets you know Well, the Lord lets Joshua know that I'm gonna be with you. Right? I'm gonna be with you. Don't be afraid. I'm gonna be with you. Really stressing it on Joshua. As long as he was obedient, though, right? So that's the catch. As long as you're obedient, I'm gonna be with you, man. Like I was with Moses. Simple as that. And you can see that, hey, the Lord's definitely been with Joshua. But at the same time, it also showed that when someone does go off and sin against the Lord, then that's the only time they're able to be overcome. But if they're at one with Yahweh Shem Shah, guess what? Nobody can stop them. Nobody can stop them. They can try. They can assemble as many kings they want at once. They can do all that shit. But man, the battles of Yahweh Shem Shah, man, he's the one. He's the deciding factor on who wins. And you really can clearly see that. And this chapter in 12 that we're gonna go into is really just a recap on all that with Moses as well as Joshua. I'm gonna go ahead and get into it if you didn't have none. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get into it now. Dang it. There it goes. All right, you got it.
All right. This is Joshua chapter 12, titled as Kings Defeated by Israel. Verse 1. Now these are the kings of the land which the children of Israel smote and possessed their land on the other side of Jordan toward the rising of the sun from the river Arnon unto Mount Hermon and all the plain on the east.
All right, and so pretty much the part we're going to be talking about is pretty much this before. This is before they cross the Jordan River, right? Which is the time of Moses, because Moses, he didn't cross the Jordan, but before that, guess what? He was on the other side of it, pretty much conquering as well, So that's the part we're gonna really go into right now, the Moses side of it, which will be the east side. You know what? I'll show the map. I'm gonna show the map. No, I'm not. I'm gonna save it to the end. I lied. But yeah, it's gonna make sense once I show the map. But we're gonna let the scriptures do the talking. You got it, bro.
Joshua 12 and verse 2. Sihon, king of the Amorites, who dwelt in Heshbon and ruled from Aroer, which is upon the bank of the river Arnon, and from the middle of the river, and from half Gilead, even unto the river Jabbok, which is the border of the children of Ammon, and from the plain of the sea of Chinneroth, if I'm saying it right, Chinneroth on the east, and unto the sea of the plain, even the salt sea on the east, the way to Beth Jephmoth, and from the south under Ashdoth, that's a crazy word right there, man. Ashdoth Pisgah, if I'm saying that right. It's a lot, y'all.
Yeah, I can't pronounce that either. I ain't gonna lie.
That's so long. I gotta listen to the audio book to hear that one. But this is verse 4. And the coast of Og, king of Bashan, which was of the remnant of the giants, and dwelt at Ashroth. Listen, yeah, Asroth, so like at Asroth, and at Edrei. Verse 5. And reigned in Mount Hermon and in Salakah and in all Bashan unto the border of the Girishites and the Machatites and half Gilead and the border of Sihon, king of Heshbon. Verse 6. Them did Moses, the servant of the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, and the children of Israel smite, and Moses, the servant of the Lord, gave it for a possession unto the Reubenites and the Gadites and the half tribe of Manasseh.
Yeah, so if I can make a quick point at it, which explains why Joshua was asking Reuben and was it Reuben and Gad to pretty much help them fight once they cross the Jordan River, because Moses then already gave them their portion. Right now, it's like the other tribes, they got to get their portion, but they got to go take it. And Reuben and Joshua asked Reuben and Manasseh to help. I forgot which chapter that was that went into that. I know it was in one of the earlier chapters, to help with pretty much taking over the land. And as you can see, Reuben and Gad, hey, they help just as they promised them. You're like, hey, we'll be with you as we was with Moses. You know, so they're just going to how they got their land. Hold on, I'm trying to find a map that there it fucking goes. There it goes.
I got a point I want to make real quick if you don't
Go
mind.
ahead, bro.
Going back to that let me pull it up. That Joshua 12, because I just want to qualify something right quick. Right. When you go to the verse, where is it at? Oh yeah, when you go to verse 4, right? In Joshua 12 before I read it, it says, "On the coast of Og, king of Bashan, which was the remnant of the giants that dwelt in Ashtaroth and Edrei." That's not talking about little giants like the Nephilim and things like that. That's not talking about that. Because even that, which that's another video, the Nephilim just mean fallen ones, and I was referring to the sons of God falling from their high estate, due to their wickedness, when they was known as the sons of God at the time. But when it says giants, you got to remember, if you actually could, when you go into the Blue Letter Bible, right? You go into the Blue Letter and you click on that word giant, it goes back to a Canaanite nation. One of that, a Canaanite tribe, descendants of Ham, a Canaanite tribe known as the Rephaim, something like that. And when you look at the Canaanites are big as fuck. That's why when you read in the scriptures, when Moses had the spies go spy out the land, they referred to the Canaanites as being referring to us being likened unto grasshoppers to the Canaanites, and so that's not talking about no damn giants, actual giants.
Yeah,
like it's a Canaanite nation. As a matter of fact, you go into the Strongs real quick. Pull this up real quick. You go into the Strongs of it. Strongs H is
what word?
What's that? Rapayam, and it says giants, Rephaim, old tribe of giants. When you go down to the Hebrew Chaldee lexicon, it tells you Rehathites. It says 2 Samuel 21:16-18, a very ancient nation of Canaanites beyond the Jordan, famous on an account of their gigantic stature. You see, so they were just big, big ass Canaanites, and Canaanites are big, they are big. If I'm not mistaken, let me see.
Oh, you went into the word giants. That's what I was trying to figure out. Like, what are you going to? Damn it! You in the word giants, right?
Yeah, I'm in the word giant. When you go to the word giant, you go to the you click on the tools.
Rapa'ayim. Yeah, Rapa'ayim.
Yeah. And if you go down to the Hebrew Chaldee lexicon,
this is off, by the way. As you can see, giants, old tribe of giants. Nope, that is off. Let me see.
Let me see some real quick.
You're looking at the Chaldee lexicon, right?
No, yeah. You look at the Chaldee lexicon, you could read that. I mean, that's what I had read pretty much.
Yeah.
See, they're old.
Yeah, a very ancient nation of the Canaanites beyond Jordan, famous on account of their gigantic stature.
Yeah. In other words, it was big. Which Canaanites are big as shit.
But they're not the big that you're thinking like.
Yeah,
like, they're not the big ass Cyclops, one eye and shit. Like, I don't know if you think that. That's what I think of when I first.
No, but that's what anybody would think. That's what anybody else would think of, because you could tell how they break the scripture down. They go into giants. They think about the giants referring to Genesis. It speaks about the giants, the Nephilim, which is not the same. You know, the Nephilim was just Jacob high stature. It even said that when you break down in the Hebrew lexicon, it tells you how talking about said that they was of gigantic stature, but before it says famous. So they was like
Yeah.
renowned in that region. They was big, and that's why when Jake went to go see their ass, Jake was scared. Out of the 12 spies, only 2 came back with the good report. The other ones came back and said, "Nah, man, they big. They big. Jake and Jasmine, them niggas big, man. They fucking big as shit." you know. Jake, so that was just to qualify that, just for anybody tuning in, new believers. It's not talking about no super big ass cyclops, big ass niggas fucking 300 feet tall. No, it ain't talking about them. It's not. It's talking about a ancient Canaanite nation, tribe, you know, people of Canaan. They was in the land of Canaan. There was a big stature.
Yeah.
Big motherfuckers.
Yep. Bigger than
That was
this.
it on that though. Yeah, that was pretty big. And you see that today. I mean, look at Manute Bowl, Bowl, and some of the, them motherfuckers
Dark
big as
Nation.
shit.
Yeah. But
That's what I had.
kind of that's what's up. Beautifully said. Where was that? You just got done reading 4, right?
Well, I read 4, but the verse I stopped at was
5, right? You stopped at 5, didn't you?
no, that was 6.
Oh, you stopped at 6? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
Well,
can read it again.
yeah, Bible shot.
All right, this is Joshua chapter 12, verse 6. Them did Moses, the servant of the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, and the children of Israel smite. And Moses, the servant of the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, gave it for a possession unto the Reubenites and the Gadites and the half tribe of Manasseh.
Yeah. So I'm gonna pick up this map right here. Just gonna go back to normal. All right. Can you see my mouse on here, bro? You can see my mouse on here?
Yeah, I see your mouse moving around. I see it.
All right. So pretty much this whole region right here is what damn it. Well, that's cool. This whole region, as well as up here, you see Edry. Where I know Bashan up here. Bashan. So all over here to pretty much right down over here is where Moses conquered. Right here. I need to get another map that actually shows where's it at? Because another map that actually shows the tribes of I was trying to get it while you was reading, but I couldn't find it. But I found that map because I know that one. Matter of fact, here it goes. Slacky. I'm just trying to get it real quick. Boom. All right, this is perfect. This is perfect right here. Yeah, I get to watch the loading screen. Slacky. All right. As you can see, here it goes right here. A depiction of what was given onto the tribes as far as on the side that Moses was on. You got Reuben and Gad. I just forgot. I remember I knew these 2 at the bottom was Reuben and Gad. I just forgot which one was. I was about to say this was Reuben, this is Gad. So good thing I looked. So Reuben, Gad, and the half tribe of Manasseh, right? Because you can see Manasseh right there too. Meaning Manasseh didn't really get like the full portion yet. But as far as this, we didn't get into the rest of the tribes from for Joshua yet. But we'll get into it eventually, whatever as we go along in the book with Joshua. But right now we're talking about the side that Moses conquered, and only Reuben and Gad and half of Manasseh got their portion pretty much. And you see Manasseh got a pretty big portion. Let me see if another one shows something different though. Let me make sure.
I got that precept for it too.
'Cause, yeah, you can bring out your precept. What you got?
This is Numbers. The precept is going to the aspect of that verse in Joshua 12 and 6.
Numbers
Talking
what?
about Numbers 32. And the point is in 30, where is it at? 33. Yeah, 33.
All right, you got it.
I'll read it. Yeah, the title of the chapter is Reuben and Gad settled in Gilead, right? So this is Numbers 32 and 33. It says, and Moses gave unto them, even to the children of Gad, and to the children of Reuben, and a half tribe of Manasseh, the son of Joseph, the kingdom of Sihon, king of the Amorites, and the kingdom of Og, king of Bashan, and the land, the land, with the cities thereof, and the coast, even the cities of the country round about. And that's going into the land that the priest just showed, that allotment that Gad, Reuben, and the half tribe of Manasseh had received. And I was on the other side of Jordan, because you got to remember, Moses didn't get to cross over the Jordan River. The Lord told him he wouldn't. But
Mm-hmm.
right there, that's where Gad, Reuben, and Manasseh, half tribe of Manasseh, that's the land they received. And they also, Moses made a promise. Moses made them promise that if, when it comes to their brothers, the rest of their brothers, the rest of the tribes will go to get their land, their land allotments, that they will go fight with them. They'll take all their men, their the militant men, and they will go to battle. As a matter of fact, you could jump up right in the Numbers 32 and 29, if you don't mind, Baba Kashan.
Yeah, and this is when Moses. You got it.
Yeah, this is what Moses said. It says, and Moses said unto them, if the children of Gad and the children of Reuben will pass with you over, and every man armed to battle before the Lord, and the land shall be subdued before you, then you shall give them the land of Gilead for a possession. You see? But if they will not pass over you armed, they shall have possessions among you in the land of Canaan. Right? So in other words, Moses saying that, they would Moses, Reuben and Gad, they would get that land. Right. It's really in this whole chapter kind of speaks back. Because
Yeah.
Reuben, Gad, and Hasham Manasseh, they kind of like settled there. They had a lot of their sheep, a lot of particular substance there, and they pretty much asked Moses, "Hey, could we have this as our land?" He was like, "Yeah, you could have it, but you must go past and go over in the land of Canaan and fight with your brethren to keep it." And that was a promise they had. And Joshua pretty much called back to this promise that they made with Moses. And Reuben, Gad, and half tribe Manasseh said, "We gonna follow through." You see, because they didn't lower to jack their ass up, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it on that though.
Yeah. I found a better picture of it as far as Manasseh because it's like it showed it, but it was kind of off a little bit as far as the Manasseh part. But here it goes right here. Yeah, as you can see, Manasseh got a big ass part. So that's that. We're talking about this side right here. Yeah, man. We're talking about this right side right here. All Moses right here. All Moses. Right? So you got Gad, Reuben, and a half tribe of Manasseh. That was the main part I was trying to stress. So now we can go ahead and get into what we have. Verse uh
We're in verse 7 now.
7, right? All right.
Mhm.
Yep. So this is verse 6 was, pretty much, a summary of what Moses did as far as conquering the land and giving Reuben and Manasseh and Gad their portion. Well, the half tribe of Manasseh their portion, you know. But we'll go ahead and continue on to verse 7. I'll
This
read.
is Joshua chapter 12, verse 7. And these are the kings of the country which Joshua and the children of Israel smote on the side of Jordan on the west, from Baal-Gad in the valley of Lebanon, even unto the Mount Halak that goeth up to Seir, which Joshua gave unto the tribes of Israel for a possession according to their divisions.
Yep. So now we're just pretty much gonna give it's finna pretty much give a summary. Where is it at? Yeah, it's finna give a summary of pretty much what did Joshua do? Like what did he take over the kings that he pretty much, you know, um, took over, which is my bad. I thought I was sharing this already. Here it goes. But now it's on this side, right here. We're on this side of it, past the other side of the Jordan River. The Jordan River's right here. If you can't see it, literally look like a blue line that kind of separate like a portion of it. So, but we go ahead and get back into it. We're just gonna let it pretty much go through.
This is Joshua 12 and verse 8. Now it says, in the mountains and in the valleys and in the plains and in the springs and in the wilderness and in the south country, the Hittites, the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites, the king of Jericho, one, the king of Ai, which is beside Bethel, one. And this is just the counter that when it says one, like this is one, this is another one, pretty much. That's what it's saying.
Yeah.
It's that old English. But it says the king of Jerusalem, one, the king of Hebron, one. And at a point to, if you're following along, they're like, these kings were not Israelites because, the king of Jerusalem, which essentially, Jerusalem is referring to us. But at this time, Jerusalem wasn't inhabited by the Israelites yet.
Yep.
But it says the king of Jerusalem, one, the king of Hebron, one, the king of Jarmuth, one, the king of Lachish, one, the king of Eglon, one, the king of Gezer, one, the king of Debir, one, the king of Geder, one, the king of Hormah, one, the king of Arad, one, the king of Lebanon, one, the king of Adullam, one, the king of Makkedah, one, the king of Bethel, one, the king of Tapu, if I'm saying that right, Tapu or Tupah, one, Tupua, something like that. The king of Hefer, one, the king of Aphek, one, the king of Lasharon, one, the king of Madon, one, the king of Hazer, one, the king of Shimron, Shimmerion, if I'm saying that right, one, the king of Akshapah, one, the king of Tanakh, one, the king of Megiddo, one, the king of Kadesh, one, the king of Jokanam of Carmel, one, the king of Dor in the coast of Dor, one, the king of the nations of Gal, one, the king of Tirzah, one, all the kings 30-1.
Exactly. 31 kings, man. All right, and this was the map I was gonna pretty much show. Let me zoom out.
Because you got the first couple kings, just talking about the kings of the south. You had the 5 cities, then you have their vassals.
Yeah.
Which I had went into. You had the 5 cities with the 5 royal cities, Jerusalem, all them, and then after that you had out there, and that's the 5 royal cities outside of Jericho and Ai. But you had the 5 cities, and then what happened? You had the vassals get taken out. Same thing with the north aspect, and also it's just representation of the conqueror of Yahushua, what he's going to do when he returns.
Yep, beautifully said. But yeah, this is pretty much a summary of the whole thing. The right side before the Jordan River, Moses, then the parts he conquered, and is on the left what Joshua did. Because it just gave you a rundown of what Moses and Joshua conquered with the nation of Israel through the power of Spirit Yahweh Shah, showing you, man, the Lord is with you, man. Like you ain't gonna lie, you they just running through niggas. Like I said, man, just running through niggas like it's nothing. Now it took some time. Don't get me wrong, it took some time. Because in the last chapter, it went into how Joshua fought with these kings for a long time. So all that traveling, all that moving, but guess what? The Lord was with them in all of it, right? As long as they stayed obedient unto Yahweh Bashan Shai, then guess what? They all they kept doing is could conquer. No matter what the kings did, they couldn't stop them, right? They couldn't stop them. Damn. Ooh. But yeah, that was really it. Pretty.
And then
straightforward.
If I'm not mistaken, we gotta read more. I feel like there's still more for Joshua to conquer, but he's not gonna be able to. We kind of far in the chapter now, so we got some more chapters. I think it's like 29 or 30. books of Joshua?
Yeah, it's still more because it's gonna go into the land allotments and of what what tribe gets what stuff like that. It's a lot.
It's 24. It's 24, so we halfway through.
Yeah, halfway literally. 12 more
Yeah, we're
chapters.
halfway through. 12 more chapters, man.
Finna see
Yeah.
what
Okay, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, because the next chapter talks about Joshua pretty much getting old. There's more to be conquered. Yeah, because I kind of pre-read the 13th chapter already.
Got it.
Joshua,
That's good, bro. That's good.
he's pretty much done. Well, I ain't gonna spoil it. Well, y'all can go read
Yeah,
chapter
too late.
13, of course. Y'all can go read chapter 13, of course, but next week, Lord's will, we can get into chapter 13 and get through the full chapter. As well. That's all I had, though.
Okay. But anyway, man, Lord willing, y'all was edified. Want to end it out by saying Kal Halal, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Until next time, I say, Shalom.